Alright, here we go, and music. There we go. Alright. I gotta wait for my phone to charge and then I can share the stream. Just gonna sit here and wait until people get in. Hello, Erdness. Hello, Lens. How you doing? Alright, so really quickly, I'm also going to join a Discord call. Because we've got something extra special that we are doing today. Oh, who joined the server? Ah, someone named Whiplash joined. Hell yeah.
Do you like to suck?
There's my join sound. There we go. Hey, Lightmare, how you doing? Suffering with the relics, for real. What's going on? Good morning, Reigns. Today, everybody, we're going to be doing a Rift class, basically. So if you guys want to learn how Limbo works a bit more, or just want to fuck around with me and see what goes on, join the Discord, get into... Let me find the VC real quick. Get into the echo chamber chat that we have in the Discord, and to get dragged in, and I'll be live on call with you guys, basically. It's the plan for today. Depends on how many people actually join. Which could be pretty hard. Hey Limbo, what you up to? And yes, your Rally Prime is amazing. Hell yeah, Nick. Not much, we're going to be doing a public Rift class, basically. Who uprifting their Limbo right now? Not much, Pero. Okay, I already know how Limbo works quite well through osmosis. For real. Do you still want to join the stream though, Stabs? As in, like, the VC? Because if you want to, let me know. Also, I got the Liza P music playing right now because Liza P Overture comes out in less than a month. I'm so excited. Oh, want me to join? Yeah, sure, Nick. Not really, I'm comfy in bed right now. Alright, based. Get Nick in here, though. But yeah, anybody who wants in, let me know. Join the Echo Chamber chat and I'll drag you in. That is the plan. I'll be a fool, coffee first, so hell yeah. Will you live, Liza P? I plan on possibly streaming the DLC when it comes out, because I'm so unbelievably excited for it. Absolutely adored the first game. Like, the first game, well, the base game was a masterpiece in my eyes. In my opinion, is what FromSoft should have made. But yeah, let me know. Until then, I am going to work on a new Limbo fashion for this. I need to find... I think it's not that one. Where is it? It's not that one. I think it's this one. Yeah. We're gonna create a different fashion. Oh wait, no, it's not this one. Where is... Oh, there it is. There it is. Create a new fashion. We're gonna make ourselves look like a professor. This one works. Prime decals. I think that animation works. Let's get the colors right. Alright, let me also check to see if Nick is here. 1 second. Oh, there's Nick. Alright. Nick, I am kidnapping you. Prepare. There he is. Hello.
I'll be right back. I'm making a coffee.
Yeah, no worries.
All right.
Excellent. Turn the music off for a second. There we go. Fixed. Bald head for the full old man professor experience. You know what, Pero? You are right. 1 second. Alright, territory color. Which one is that? Oh, it's those decals. We'll do that real quick, and then I'll see how it looks with this. Oh, getting there, not there yet. Let me actually try brown. Not that. Rift School? Yes, Alchemist King. If you want to learn how I play Limbo and how things work, all creators and players are welcome. We are going to enter a session, basically. A classroom session. Oh, they finally fixed energy colors in the back rooms. Hell yeah.
Hey, Limbo.
Yes?
I plan to be your guinea pig. If you just pick a female frame, except Hilden, I can see how interactions work.
Alright, alright. Interesting, I'm curious as to how you play Limbo. Alright, Alchemist, if you want, join the call. Hello, Purple. Rift School, yeah. Oh, sounds interesting, I'll sit in for this lecture. Well, yeah, Light Switch Gaming, if you want to learn, I would prefer doing it live with other players. So please, if you guys want to learn and have a mic, or just want to join the call, join the Discord. The link should be in the stream. Join the... Oh my god, which chat is it again? I need to look again. My brain's not working. Echo Chamber chat? Let me know you're in there, and I will drag you in. When did you start playing Warframe? About 3 years ago, Glitch. Oh, I need this lesson then. I am an uneducated Limbo and wish to become an educated Limbo. Alright, Carbine. I'm not home at the moment to do so, but I'll join once I am. Hell yeah. Charles Xavier-ass stream, for real. That is the perfect way of putting it.
So, I am currently thinking how Citrine functions with her, how Garuda functions with her, how Jaya functions, with the Limbo, how Jaya functions with Limbo, how Jade works, how Mag works.
We can definitely do that. Let me find you real quick, my friend. We'll have you along to talk about co-op, I think, a little bit. We could do some co-op strats. There he is.
So, who do you want to go first? Pick a lady frame. Is it somebody interested in chat and how people function?
I don't think we've covered any female frames yet, actually, because there was that series I started, right, where it was like the co-op series, but that's on hold right now. So if you want, whichever one you prefer to start with, you can go with. Because I know a few functionalities are really neat. Like, for example, you know Mirage, right?
Mm-hmm.
Did you know that her clones are counted as like players? But the funniest thing is they always spawn out of the rift. So you can banish the Mirage, she can spawn her doppelgangers, and then attack across both planes that way.
Oh, that is a neat interaction.
Yeah, it's pretty funny.
Do you want to start there?
Yeah, we can do that. We can talk about her a little bit. You already taught me how to play Limbo decently with all your vids, so this is going to be just a fun watch. Hell yeah. That's very interesting. It is Alchemist. And you can even banish the clones too, where you could have the reverse happen. Or like, if you wanted to, you could banish the Mirage and her clones. The Mirage can roll, I believe, and the clones will stay in the rift instead of leaving. I don't play our own Limbo, but to be a better asset to my Limbo teammates, I will take notes, like that very interesting Mirage tech. Yeah, and it's similar with Gara's Splinter Shield, or whatever it is, or 2. It has a similar physics. Alright,
So
we're gonna...
what shall be our testing grounds then? Or we wait for other people?
We're just gonna go into the sim. It's mainly just gonna be the sim for this whole stream, I feel.
Oh, right, no worries.
Just fucking around in the sim, seeing what we can find. Tried to do a Kome school to spread propaganda and proceeded to be called a compulsive gambler. I mean, kinda makes sense, yeah. That makes sense. Alright, we're gonna go into the sanctum. Because I love the sanctum. Poofed. Yeah, alchemist. But yeah, if you want to, like, when the stream's over, depending on what's in this stream, if you ever want to send this to people, if they want to learn Limbo better, they could use this, I feel.
Oh, force me limbo. I was loading while you selected the mission.
Oh yeah, no worries. It's fine. Alright, here we are. I'm gonna disable companions for now, though. On a side note, I am also gonna make my Limbo look a little bit more schooly, because I forgot to put on other accents like chess pieces and shit. Where's the Soren badge? There it is. No, not that.
Now, once you're done, I too shall equip my pet. I don't want my dog killing everything. After watching Rona's and Magmain and 6 months videos, my companions absolutely destroy.
Makes sense. They're the masters of the companions, as I like to call them. There we go. That works. I am the schoolboy. Very nice. Only a few weeks away before I can start Warframe and chromaing it again. Hell yeah, Paro. I keep coming back to the Rift, it's addicting. Well, welcome back, Blurry. I've been meaning to switch my Krubro's physical damage type to Slash, as I've realized how useless the DR status kinda is. What do you mean, for impact? The impact status? I don't know. Alright, so for now, until we want to get people into the stream, we're just going to kind of go over co-op stuff. So let me spawn some enemies. Alright, so when it comes to Limbo with Mirage, like I said, the neat thing is I could just banish the Mirage. Now all the clones are in the Rift. Try rolling real quick now. Yeah, alright, now try attacking. I believe only you should be able to hit.
I'm seeing a lot of damage numbers. Maybe a little single file. Let me. I have a single target weapon.
Yeah, no worries. What were you learning? What we learning tech? Kind of Reaper's Limbo. What I want to do is I want to get people onto the stream to join us and like learn live how I play the character a little bit until we get some people that want to join. We're gonna be kind of just fooling around looking at interactions. Does the B pistol still do the cool thing of bypassing the Rift to do damage? I'm constructing it and we'll be ready to use it soon. It does, Carbine, it does. It's just that the crit multiplier thing's been changed or removed. Alright, so let me do that. Alright, now try rolling, and now attack. Yeah, you seem to only be hitting one guy right now.
Wow, it's not AoE, right? If I could do that now.
Yeah. Limbo build. When it comes to builds, Blurry, it doesn't matter. When it comes to this kit, you can kind of do whatever you want.
See, it's weird because I can see the beams. Can I, like, aim it so when the crossings hit, aim, like, here? No, that looks like my clone's hitting. Yeah.
Okay. Alright, wait until the clones run out, and then I'll banish you specifically, and then you can spawn the clones.
Yeah, my clones are the side kits are hitting them. Yeah.
God, I love these pistols.
Alright, clones out.
Okay, so I'm gonna banish you specifically, and now you can spawn them.
Yeah.
And that should just be that only your clones hit.
Yeah, I'm not hitting, and I'll try my clones. My clones aren't. Oh, my clones are hitting. Alright.
Yeah, they are. There it
Maybe with that
is.
one.
So I would say, because like Mirage also has her 4, right? The damaging power.
So, hang on. Only the left clone is hitting. The one on my right, I don't think is.
Oh, really? Oh.
That one did. Okay, no, both did. Okay, I just confirmed that. I was just missing.
Yeah, no worries. Okay, so the best course of action that I can think of for this. Let me look at this a little bit. The best way that could be played if you're playing at a base range build, kind of what I'm doing here, would be Cataclysm can be up and make sure to leave it on the field for whenever there are enemies on different planes. That way you can stand in it and like fire out at the enemies on different planes. Like, let me banish a couple right here real quick. I'm gonna banish those and surge them, and I'm gonna place the Cataclysm right here. There you go. Alright, now you should be able to fire and hit them.
With my clones? Yeah, I'll summon my clones.
Yeah, try it.
Clones are not hitting.
No, the surged ones, these ones.
Oh.
Hit those guys.
Yeah.
There you go. Yeah. Well, one Carnage. This is the Fellarx Blurry. Been really enjoying it. Yeah, now all those guys are surged. But I still gotta banish them. There you go. And now you should be able to start attacking them. And I believe you're about to leave the rift again, so I'm gonna put Cataclysm down again. Like that. There you go.
Yeah, my sorry, I should give you feedback. Yeah, my clones are definitely hitting. I'm trying to see if I am hitting.
Yeah, no worries.
I think I am. I don't even know what the Scepter build is. I just built it for MR and I was done.
Yeah, no worries. Yeah, I think you're about to leave the rift again, it looks like, too, so you should not be able to hit them now. Yeah. Thank you for not keeping. No worries, Blurry. No worries. The only thing I do kind of gatekeep a little bit is builds, and it's not even because of, like, me trying to be selfish, it's because the builds don't really matter on Limbo. It's his mechanics that matter. Like, you could build him... I mean, you could go completely modless and be fine with him if you wanted to. Which, in my opinion, is what makes this guy so wonderful.
Do you want me to try with her 4 then?
Yeah, so I'm gonna banish all these guys real quick. Like that. Alright, now you should be able to just hit them with the 4. Yeah, there it goes.
Yes.
Perfect. Yeah, I don't know how you build for damage on that very well, though. Yeah, bundle them up real quick. Alright, try the 4 now. There you go.
Oh, there is a... I don't use a 4, honestly.
Okay.
Yeah, do more damage if it touches up.
I like going mid-range and a lot of duration in Limbo. Pretty base purple, that's typically how I go for him, too.
Honestly, if you want to make a Mirage nuke in 4, just have damage versus radiation. With shards, that'd be a massive boost.
Nah, true, because it's a radiation damage for 4, right?
Does it proc radiation?
I don't know. Let's spawn him again and see if it does. Let's see if it procs radiation.
Energy.
I don't think it does, but I could be wrong. Let's see.
It doesn't look like it.
Yeah, it doesn't look like it. No. It does seem to be doing somewhat decent damage, though. Let me bundle him up and then armor strip him real quick with Unairu. There you go. Alright, now try. See what kind of damage we can go for. Oh, that's... Oh. Okay, that's not bad. Hell yeah. Kill those guys real quick. And those guys are resistant to radiation too.
I'm also negative range. That might be a factor as well.
Oh, I think that does affect it, yeah. Spawn them again. And then I believe you're 2, right? It's the bombs, right? I
I have that subsumed off.
Oh, you
So
do?
just-
Oh, okay. I would imagine that would work. It's just that'd be really inconsistent because it's only your drops that do that, not allied drops, if I remember correctly, right?
Yeah, I think it's going to be like the mag thing. It's going to play aside, right?
Okay.
I can put the argument on and find out.
My melee limbo will use negative duration plus max range of 4 red damage shards, turns them into a knockdown monster. Yeah, Blurry, like, that is something you could do. I just typically don't do that because the problem is that then you become too vulnerable to Eximus units because the Eximus units' bullets and stuff can still get frozen in the Rift. Which is something that not a lot of people realize. Alright, that's good damage.
Oh, this is unmodded Mirage, by the way. I just literally just put the items in.
Alright, alright.
So if you spawn them again, because I can't,
Yeah, 1 second. Spawn them in again.
I just need to drop, right?
Yeah, no worries. Okay, let me think of what else we could do. Because I could definitely see the explosive Legiardamane, you know, the 2 being helpful, but I don't know how consistent that would be. Hey, Nexus.
Can you rift me? And
Yeah,
then
sure.
I'll see if Lady goes. Yeah.
Yeah, 1 second. There you go.
Oh, that's one done. Yeah. Okay. Legiardamane seems to be going off. Okay. So Legiardamane works through the rift. Nice.
Nice. Nice to see you're framing your war. Thank you, Protendo. I am. Should I just rely on Shieldgate, which I hate, but not much I can do? That's fair, that's fair. I use a little bit of shield gating in my builds, but not a whole lot. Like, once you get used to his mechanics, it's not too bad.
I'm a big fan of fast deflection combo and rapid resilience.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
the
I use that with the other one, the Vigilante Defense mod or whatever it is, and it's just, like, super fast.
Vigilante Vigor. The true combo of it, like the thing that destroys you is dots and rapid resilience is just so good. I mean, Roaring God works too, of course, but like I like to be lazy.
Well, the thing is, and this is why I like Rapid Resilience in that combo more, is that it's consistent. Like, you don't have to worry about dodging at the right time to be able to use it. Which is my biggest issue with it.
Yeah.
I am scared of playing Warframe because I'd be trapped in Simulacrum for the next week. Hell yeah.
So who do you want to move on to next? Is there any recommendations on the mechanics of?
Yeah, let me just go over with Mirage real quick again what we do know. Clones don't hit through the rift, but you could do banish the Mirage and then have the clones out, and then it can work on either plane to allow them to play together somewhat. And then the 4 obviously hits through the rift, and then if you're playing with a Limbo in the squad, as long as the Limbo is smart, leave a Cataclysm on the field and then banish with like 1 through 3, basically. Seems to be the play. That way, if you need to kill banished targets, or like rifted targets, right, you can just stand in Cataclysm and shoot out at them. You know what I mean? That seems to be the play. Next, let's actually move on to Wisp, my friend. I'm actually curious to see what she can do.
My main? Absolutely.
Yeah, sure.
I feel like Surge and Limbo is cracked, actually.
We'll see what happens.
Buffs.
Oh man, I hope Chroma get a buff or a rework that isn't the Valkyrie rework treatment. Fair. Gotta leave for now. Don't know if I'll be returning until then. I'll lurk. Alright, Lightmare, see ya, alright?
I do have a full subsumed, alright? So if you want to mess around with that, tell me. I'll just swap to a config.
Yeah, no worries. I have 4K hours of Warframe on Steam, but in-game mission says 1.1, so that sounds about right to me. Lol, stuck in sim. Yeah, the sim isn't counted for in-game time, apparently, which is kind of weird. Alright, so first thing, I'm pretty sure I already know this. Let me banish all these guys. I know that your 1 should hit through the rift. Try the 4, though. I'm not sure about it.
Okay, look at me a sec.
Yeah. Oh, I'm assuming you have a build where it doesn't use the 4. Yeah, no worries, my friend. No worries.
Modless Whisker. Oh, okay, I apparently have a second build here. Okay, there we go.
Alright, so to check this, we're gonna bundle them up all together.
Yeah,
Should be hitting.
Working.
Okay, and then I'm assuming the augment version does a lot of damage, right?
Let me just equip it. I haven't messed around with it. I'm fine just assuming enough soul gate.
Yeah, no worries.
So I'll just put it on real quick. I did grab it, of course, just in case I wanted to mess around with it.
I've never heard them called Miku beams, but that's funny as fuck. Artemis mode doesn't feel as good as it did before. They build from before the update suddenly has a 10-second draw time. It was appalling. Wow. Alright. That's something.
Alright, vanishing.
Yeah. Let me... Alright, so is that the 4 augment? Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, seems to be him. Does it explode?
I think it does. Or if it did, I can't tell. It does seem to be. Yeah. It does seem to be doing some damage. Not a whole lot, though.
Yeah.
Alright, try your 3 real quick, because I'm not so sure about that one. Okay, so it still hits through the rift. Nice.
Yeah.
So the 3 works. That's helpful. That could actually be a nice squad-wide support, like you just hit them with those. And do that. Actually, wait, something I need to test. Because I haven't tested this in a while, so they might change it. Let's see if the sparks can go through the rift or not. So I'm gonna banish these boys. Hit them with the sparks, and then see if they bypass or not.
They look to be... Hang on, I'll even show you research.
Yeah.
Right, they
Alright, let me kill one of these guys. Yes. Okay, it... Oh, wait. It doesn't seem to be doing that. Interesting.
I'm hitting them with my shock aura. I'll hit some guys in the back. Oh, wait. Yeah.
Alright, hit him with the 3 again, real quick. Let me do a cross rift. Let me see if that works.
Oh, get my flower box if you want to hit them. Oh, wait.
Wait. Oh, the sparks don't cross the rift. Oh, okay, that's interesting. Yeah,
I don't. Okay.
Yeah, try him one more time, real quick.
Hang on.
Yeah, no worries.
If I go in here, we spawned everything right.
I believe it is critical delay mod that's actually the culprit in addition to the concentrated arrow changes. Yeah, it's not dealing damage across the rift at all with the kill spark.
Oh. Okay. These guys vanish?
Let me banish this guy. Alright, try again. Yeah, he's not taking any damage. That is interesting. Okay. So you can cast across dimensions, but the spark doesn't damage across dimensions. That's disappointing.
So I heard like Bruce Surge on Limbo is insane because he gives the banished damage to Bruce Surge, but they reworked Bruce Surge recently because the most cracked build I saw was Temple with Bruce Surge because it was getting applied to Bruce Surge and it was crazy.
Yeah.
Hotshot as well. Yeah. Turns out Bruce Surge with base damage and then Hotshot multiplying it by 3 times. It's is it 100% crit? Yeah, it's red crits.
Oh. Wow. I think it's because it's a drop and Limbo can't pick up drops outside the rift. Oh, did they rework it like that? That would suck if that's the case, or if it's like weapon damage rather than ability damage. Try one more time real quick.
I'm gonna hang on. To not muddy your results, I'm gonna swap off Wisp, then swap back. Look at the flowers despawn.
Okay, no, this time it worked. I think for that. What's Dark Beast?
Oh, mine.
Yeah, okay, that doesn't seem to work.
Did my flowers despawn? They did. Okay. So no more shock aura and things.
Now let me respawn them. Sorry. Wait, never mind. I thought it was still Mirage. I corrected myself. Keep reading. Oh, my bad. Sorry, Reaper. Okay, that spark's gone. Where the fuck did that spark go? Okay, that actually did damage right there, it seems. Let me do that. Okay, no, it's working. Okay, it's working.
Yeah, because research takes off any damage, right? I think the swap somebody in results.
Okay, I guess it's just inconsistent thing, and I can't tell, but it worked that time. Alright, so that works.
Hang on, try it one more time when I'm out the rift and you rift somebody, because I was in the rift then.
Yeah, let me put you in the rift and see what happens when the reverse happens with it. Okay, so you can still cast through the rift, that's good. Okay, that did damage. Okay, that works. That is working. Okay. Okay, yeah, it's working. All good. So I think a strategy that would work for this, similar to like with the Mirage, like leaving the Cataclysm on the field thing, most importantly, just let the Mirage kind of be a buffer for you, I guess would be the best play when it comes to this sort of thing. Yeah, like you have, or not the Mirage, the Wisp. The Wisp will debuff the enemies for you, and like distract them for you, while you can be the one dealing most of the damage, it seems. That sounds like a good play. Oh shit. Oh, that's so good. Oh, this guy's still alive. Oh yeah, side, don't forget to check things of silly nature on both host and client. Ah, fair, fair. And like I said again, if any of you guys want to learn Limbo in person, that's what the stream is for. Just make sure to join the Discord, join the... Oh my god, I keep forgetting the name of this dang channel.
Echo Chamber.
Yeah, the Echo Chamber chat, and I will drag you in if you want to learn in person.
So I'm curious on like how Jade functions.
Jade should be interesting, actually. Let me see. Because I know the 4 should hit through the rift, if I remember correctly.
You want to be in the rift? Right, okay, that works.
I'll banish them. There you go.
Yeah,
Yep.
that works. What
There
about
you
you?
go. Do the radial banishes from Limbo Street Dragon allies as well? They do not lead, which is... I mean, it makes sense, but it's also really annoying that it doesn't, because it can make squad play more interesting.
Can you banish them again?
They're already banished.
Oh, okay, so Jade just works.
She does.
That's
She
fine.
just works. You could... Actually, you know what? Jade and Limbo might actually be an excellent pairing, because one of the biggest problems Jade has is survivability. You know, right? When she's solo. So if Limbo just CCs everybody, and then you just damage across planes with the 4, it seems. Like the 4-1 combo.
You can't see builds here, so Jade, not that you'd ever swap up the damage buff like Mirage, you know. Aviator is just an auto include for like base steel path. 40% DR, and then you have more DR and Glory. I wouldn't say Jade is squishy. You should just be in the 4 if you're playing around this playstyle.
Yeah.
And also, you're in the air. Remember, enemies cannot fucking hit you in the air. I mean, they can. They just have a mass...
Lower accuracy. Yeah. Jade and Limbo are a real wombo combo, it seems. Yeah, I kind of expected it given the Exalted Weapon part, but the fact that Limbo specifically could just CC all the enemies in place to keep her from being damaged while she buffs the hell out of him is actually a really good combo, I would say. Jade beefs up Limbo Rift Torrent and then Limbo crowd controls for Jade. Yeah, basically. Like, you could easily swap off to the power strength buff, actually, on Jade, so that way Limbo has, like, a crazy damage bonus.
I'm interested on how Citrine works, too.
Oh yeah. I think the crystal should hit through the rift, if I remember correctly. I'm gonna banish all these boys. And then...
Crystal.
Yeah.
I'm gonna throw them.
I'm gonna set that right there for you. Yep, there we go. 1.7.
I'm in capitalism. I should be in the rift, so...
Yeah, so now you can hit through planes. Yeah, the crystal's hitting. Across planes. Secondary Fortifier exists for Jade. To be honest, that's not a really good defensive method, because that relies on Eximus units being around, which isn't always the case.
So, number 1, there's Flare. Number 2, there's Innovate.
True.
Like, Fortify is fantastic. I love it. But, Jade, much like Titania, really appreciates Innovate. Or, if you're going a hotshot route and you're actually building the crit fire shards, Flare is insane base damage.
Yeah. Problem is, the average Warframe player can't swap their secondary. Yeah, true. Kind of. Oh, you got, we got the Saren out? Is that who this is? Oh, no, this is Citrine. How am I blind? Gyre. Here we go. We spawn
so just banish some baddies. I want to see if I can hit them.
Yeah, 1 second. Okay, so some of them are in the rift, just be careful. But the rest of them are not. Should be able to bundle them up.
Apparently. Okay, I can hit the people from not in the rift, so she doesn't work. What about Conductive Spear?
Oh.
Spear works.
Oh. Okay,
No,
that's interesting. So her fort just does not hit through the rift at all?
No.
Oh. Okay, that's a problem.
Is Spear hitting? Are you shooting people?
No, I'm not hitting anything. So the one hits through the rift, but the 4 doesn't?
Yeah.
wait, let me remove stasis from them, actually. Now let's see. Alright, try the 4 again. Like, walk up to them.
Nope.
Alright. Nope, that's not working. That's lame.
But her one does, so if I throw my spear at range, yeah, I can see numbers.
Seeing as the 1 works, you could... Actually, wait, do you have the bullet augment for her 1?
Yeah.
Put that on real quick. Let's see if the bullet can hit to the rift or something. Like, what if it gets, like, a rift coating of some kind?
Oh, so what do you mean bullet augment? Do you mean for her first?
Yeah, for her first, where she gets the electric buff.
Yeah. Hang on, I'm going to put my spear here, and then shoot through it.
Yeah.
It should work. Yeah. Oh wait, no. Am I hitting the guys on? Can you put them all in the rift so I just like don't get confused?
Yeah. 1 second. There you go. There you go. Now let's see.
Here. Might not be best to.
Oh, we got some people in the call. Yeah. Reaper's Limbo and the Flat Earther.
Oh.
Hello.
Hello. Hold on, I got
welcome.
Hello.
Hello, welcome to the stream.
So, yeah. Oh, hello.
We got some boys on the call.
We got some boys.
The voices.
Right.
I'm here for
Oh man, I can't
advanced
talk
shit.
about silly
Advanced
stuff,
shit?
man,
Alright.
because people
Yeah.
will know. The 18 viewers will know about secret Chinese tag. the 5-year-old Chinese arbitration tag. Oh no.
Alright, so Reaper, what's your in-game name?
It's the same as Discord, just without the apostrophe space.
There go. Alright, here we go.
Do I also have to join?
I mean, if you want to, you can.
Okay, boss.
Alright, let me get you Nexus. Like I said to everyone in the stream, if you want to get personal lessons right now, just join the... Oh my god, how do I keep forgetting the name?
The echo chamber.
The Echo Chamber. My brain is not working right now at all. How's it going? Not much, Jarku. Teaching viewers how to play Limbo the way I play them a little bit.
Can you riff them, Limbo?
1 second, I'm inviting Nexus. Oh wait, what's your in-game name again, Nexus?
NEKHSUS. I'm still opening the game.
Oh, okay. Okay, I'll invite.
Yeah,
I'll invite you to movement. Let me spawn them.
SUS, not US. Sus, emoji.
Alright, we get some.
Alright, I should be in now.
Alright. Alright. Limbo got caught forgetting the Echo Chamber name. I'm sorry, Pero. I'm just very tired. I've been out of the house all day. So it's like... It's weird. Noise, maybe we should do a Discord channel like Ask a Limbo, where they can ask stuff after the fact too. I've actually considered that, Nexus, because the more I realize it, the more I realize that playing more hands-on with people, I think, helps them out much better.
That was Darko. That wasn't.
Also, you have a 2-hour long Limb Bible.
Yeah.
And not everyone wants to sit through 2 hours.
Yeah. First thing, Reaper, I am sorry to say this, but you must shed your anime girl waifu frame and put on the Limbo. The Limbo.
No worries. Oh, wait. Why does it... Oh, there it goes. Okay.
Ooh, nice Limbo fashion. I like it. Alright. Alright, Rift 101. I have not scripted or planned this at all, so we were doing this as... We're learning as we go with this, because I've never done this before.
Yippee!
The Limb Bible was
I
fire,
don't know
though.
you
It was
guys, but
purple.
I'm just gonna leave this area.
Yeah, no worries. It's fine.
Hold on.
Alright.
That was long.
So, the way I like to look at Limbo, and it's kind of what I talked about in the short little video that I made, right? The like, Idiot's Guide to Limbo or whatever it was, right? Is that it's like a yes and no kind of system. You have to think of the enemies as, are they in the rift? Yes or no? Or like, is it a yes equals yes or no equals no kind of thing? If either one is true, you can hit them. If the opposite is true, like no and yes or yes and no, then it doesn't work. The way to play them is to be mindful of the yes and no system, and to kind of just think of your abilities like that. Should maybe go about the drill of hold cast Spanish and getting that into the gameplay loop. Yeah, Dark. I'll talk about that a little
Okay,
bit.
I have escaped. Have fun, guys.
I saw the Limb Bible video. It was awesome. All right, see ya, Nexus. All right, let me spawn some
took me a while.
enemies. I don't know why I respawn them. I can't think. So right now, right, I am in a yes equals no kind of situation, and now I'm on a yes equals yes or no equals no at the moment. Your abilities, the whole fundamental of his abilities is to get either one to be true. Do you want enemies in, or do you want enemies out? So for example, I'm going to unpause these boys. My banish is the yes, so now they're all in the rift, right here, immediately. And because I have that window of time, defenses don't really matter for him too much, because so long as I can get them in fast enough, I am perfectly safe. And I can just do what I want to do here, like killing them, right? And then Banish freezes them. Oh my god, this attack speed is way too slow. I'm gonna get a faster weapon 1 second. Ooh, actually, I'm gonna get this Serrata out.
I was not paying attention.
I did not realize you were down. Also remember that banishes slash stasises are shared, so you can freeze them too.
Yeah, I just was doing something else. I just was not paying attention at all.
No worries. And I'm doing that. They're dead. Another way I used Rift was 1 for not rifted and 0 for rifted, so you flick a light switch. Yeah, Darku, it's kind of like that too. That's also a good way of looking at it. My food is in the oven. Hell yeah, Alchemist. So let me spawn them again. So the one way that I just showed is with Banish. I'm now just going to grab a group of enemies. So now I have this group of enemies here that are rifted, right? But I want to get the other ones here. The way I do this is either you can hold cast Banish and spread it, or, as I like to do it, get a grouping tool out and bring all the enemies together, like that. That way...
Funny that... Sorry.
Mm-hmm.
Go on. I was just saying, I find it really funny that I can't decast the Banish on them, even though I have full capability of doing so.
Yeah, it's player specific, sadly, when it comes to that. Like, when you banish a group of enemies as a limbo, those enemies are under your control, so you can't, like, unbanish or remove them, which is really annoying. But yeah, if you use grouping tools in tandem, maybe like Vazaran, right? Like Vazaran's Vortex, or if you use, like what I was just using there, Magus Anomaly, you could speed up his DPS and not have to mod for range. Because the grouping tool supplements that for you. Let me kill this guy real quick. If I can get a headshot. Yeah, fuck it. There we go. Does stasis prevent lifted or knockdown status? It doesn't actually, Lee. Like, there's a weird case of it. Let me get a weapon out to do it. 1 second.
I'm Nezha. I'm curious, like, how Nezha works with Limbo.
Oh yeah, we can pull him out real quick. 1 second. Let me just make sure that my build is right. Here we go. The good build. So we're going to spawn enemies again. And I'm going to rift them all. And use Cataclysm this time. There we go. Oh, let me get energy. When I was rifting, I yearned for the torrent.
Oh,
there we go. Alright, now try the 4 again.
it does damage, but it doesn't lift them.
Okay, let me unbanish real quick. There you go, now do it. And then let me freeze them. Oh, wait. Oh! They're in stasis. Oh!
Hold on,
What
give me a
was
moment.
that?
I wanna say something.
What was that? Oh, did he escape the rift? Wait a minute. That's kind of neat. Advanced technique.
What? Wait.
Wait, did he get knocked out of the rift? Wait a minute.
I don't know if he was in it.
Okay, no, you're right. Hello, loading error. How you doing, man?
Hello,
Oh,
Mike.
there's Alchemist. Let me invite him in. The Alchemist King! Hello!
Greetings, I'm here.
Nice! Welcome!
Hello.
Can you Cataclysm? Or Rift me, one of the two?
Yeah, 1 second. There you go. Like that. That's pretty neat. Can I join? Yeah, sure, loading error. Alright, let me respawn these
Yeah, go
guys.
to the...
Alright, where's... Oh, we got Xanathus joining.
Yeah.
Here we go. Hello, Zan. How you doing?
Hey. How are you doing?
Pretty good, pretty good. We're basically teaching advanced limbo tech and things that I know and how I play them a little bit.
Hey.
What channel are you in? I'm in my own server, loading error. The Discord link should be linked in the stream. I like how one crucial part of your weekly routine is explaining how limbo works in stream. Yeah, Kiwi, it's kind of become that.
Yeah.
Okay, so back to it.
The one consistency of this life
Yeah.
as a limbo player.
So,
So,
I'm gonna pause.
Nobody
these
understands.
guys. You have your own server? I do, loading error. I've had one for a while.
You have your own plan.
Yeah. So basically, like I said, 1 through 3 here, right? The 3, when it comes to it, is I like to think of it as the in and out button. Where basically, when I hold 1, specifically, it detonates the spread more ins, I guess would be the best way of putting it. And if I want to eject people completely, I have to hold out at least twice. It depends on how many surges there are. He's literally limbo-bring people in the rift. Yeah, Carbine. Oh, there's loading error. Let me get them in. This guy's a friend from one of the other servers I'm in. Hello! Welcome.
Hey,
Welcome.
party, let's go.
Alright. So like I said, because your 3 is both your main way of getting enemies into the rift and keeping enemies in the rift, which are very important, there are 2 ways you can go about it. You could either build for range to spread enemies around. Oh, hey, you searched them. Nice. Or
I'm just pressing button.
yeah, no worries. Or you can use a grouping tool to get the enemies together to complement lower range builds like this. So then I can banish them all like that. There we go. Now they're all under my control.
No longer mine. Oh wait, actually, hold on. Ironically,
Love that. Let me armor strip these guys.
yeah, no, I didn't
Now they're all
didn't realize that if I surge them, at least I could banish or I could unbanish them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Which
It's kind
is-
of weird.
Yeah.
I got a question.
Typically, though, you don't have more than one, right?
Yeah, loading error.
If you're using 4 limbos, is that 4 different versions of limbo, or do they all share the same pocket dimension?
So they all share the same rift. It's just that whenever a limbo surges a target, like one limbo surges a target, only that limbo can unbanish them by. Otherwise, you have to manually walk up and do it, which is really annoying.
I
And
know
it's
if
why.
it was just like different colors.
Yeah, I mean,
Well,
there technically are different colors because of the surge, the rift surges,
Well,
right?
when you searched them, they were still searched on my end, right? So
Yeah,
I was also able to unbanish them at the same time
yeah.
as they were technically yours, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh yeah, I can hear it, Nexus. I just wasn't commenting
if
on
we
it
get
yet.
near you, it does.
I thought it didn't because sometimes people don't hear it.
Okay. Alright, now let's talk about Cataclysm a little bit. So the way I like to look at Cataclysm is like a big AoE in, would be the best way of putting it, that is slowly shrinking. When you have Cataclysm up, not only can you hit enemies that are in Cataclysm if you're standing in the rift, it means that you can just stand out here and enemies can never hit you unless, say, you unbanish yourself, or not unbanish, unstasis, and then the enemies inside start trying to shoot you, which is where that riot bubble strat comes from. This little pocket area is like a safe haven in a sense, but it's also very limiting because since it's a small AoE area, you never want to be in it all the time. Because it just means that if you stay in it for too long, especially when it collapses, you're left vulnerable. So whenever you walk out of Cataclysm, you want to make sure you rift yourself again. That way you don't have to worry about it. And then whenever you want to keep enemies in the rift, you do that, close Cataclysm, and now I got all the enemies for my pleasure. If you wanted to, this is also strat. If you want to bring a bunch of enemies into the rift, you can just banish at a distance like this, right? With the Cataclysm, surge, close it, surge again. Just start cleaning up the enemies around here. If new ones walk in, just use this, like a grouping tool, and then just banish them again with the 1. That's typically how I tend to do it when playing in squads at ranges like these. But if you're playing In a squad, though, you typically can't do this too often. So the way I do it is I just leave a Cataclysm on the field and, like, have, like, decent duration, right? And then start doing, like, 1 through 3 antics out here. And whenever a player wants to help in the killing, they could just walk in the Kata and hit the same enemies that I'm dealing with, basically. And just be mindful of the ins and outs system, basically. Like, if you can't hit them in here, just walk into the bubble and start attacking. Like that. Yeah, I like that, Nick.
So I do want to test some Nezha. Something very interesting. Have you seen the Wilcoda Nezha video, the recent one?
I don't think so, no.
You should. So there's a funny interaction with Nezha's Divine Spears. What you did was make them immune to Spear, but they still apply the debuff. So they still get hit. You can afflictions, funny shenanigans, but they also get expedited. But so you can do it against anything that's immune to his spears normally, right? So yeah, if you banish them and send them into the rift, I'll show you what I mean. Oh, yep. See, they still get hit. So if you time it with a affliction, it should do crazy damage, but it's not doing crazy damage. It's not even doing like my damage. Maybe I need to stack up more galvanized.
There you go. There we go.
But
I wonder if that's because of the AI state, since it freezes their AI state.
Yeah, which is the other thing that I want to talk about, actually. Let me get out a shade real quick.
new transition.
So the funny thing with Shade, and this is another strat that I like, is like a stealth limbo strat, where basically you use the Shade to walk around and assess the field as things are going on. And when you can, while invisible, let me activate the AI, like that. There, so let me wait to go invisible. There we go. And now, yeah, it works. There we go. So I'm still getting the stealth multipliers right now. Like that. Because they basically froze the AI state, where even though they noticed you, they weren't aware of me anymore. So because of that, I was able to get easy melee stealth multipliers when that happened. And that's another good strat. Especially if you use, oh, let me reset.
I was just about to say, why is this guy like this?
Do that. There we go.
He has the effect of Surge, but isn't in the Rift.
Yeah, that's because the Surge hopped over to him, because when you kill enemies, it'll seek out the nearest enemy within the application range of Surge, and latch to them, basically. It's a way, I believe it's supposed to be a means of balancing out the Torrent buff. Which is kind of stupid.
Whenever someone updates their inventory in Simulacrum, for some reason my Wolframe colors apply to my Shogun.
That's funny. Love that. Okay. So
I don't notice it because my weapon colors are the same as my Warframe.
No,
Speaking
the
of-
Shogun doesn't use your
Oh,
colors
Shazin. I
for
thought you said
the-
shotgun.
Yeah. No,
It's actually kind of funny.
Speaking about stealth builds, I want to see how Vorben interacts because I made my Vorben a stealth build.
Another one, let me pull this up real quick because this one's really nice, is a debuffer build with a companion. So basically the reason why I love Sentinels specifically is because with Duplex Bond and like Shivering Contagion and Cold, you can make it a ultimate like cold slowing like utility setup. So 1 second. Let me switch over.
See, I really liked how Limbo played.
Actually, I'm pretty sure I have that on my shade.
Ace Limbo is ugly as shit, and I did not like that. So
Alright, so
he went to the wall.
we got this.
Ow.
Wait, go immune. Oh, my bad. That was not intended. Let me get back up. There we go. Okay, I'm invisible now.
Invisible?
I was for a second.
There.
There we go. That was not intended. Let me retry that. Okay, so the stealth bonus is basically a duration-based thing with Limbo, with how he could just freeze the AI if enemies noted. Yeah, Carbine. Basically, because the enemies were unaware of me at the time when I did that, they, the AI was stuck in the unaware state while in stasis, which allowed me to get the melee stealth bonus, which is really funny.
Okay, can you give me like one normal enemy and don't kill it?
Yeah, there we go. Now I'm getting it. Okay, another thing, I can hit this. There we go. Alright. What the fuck? Oh, there we go. Thank you.
There's like a lot of accents.
Yeah, I'm not... You know that thing where, like, you do it in front of people and you're terrible, but if you do it in private, you're good kind of thing? It's one of those kinds of things with me right now. But yeah, basically the thing is, with Exodus units, they weren't hitting me with their bullets, they were hitting me with their abilities. Which is why... Oh, someone took me out of the rift. There we go.
Oh.
That was weird.
My bad.
And basically my Sentinel, what I was trying to show there, but I couldn't get it right, is that it would spread around and spread cold to slow them enough where I could go in and dispatch them easily. The other one would be using... Let me actually get out Vazarin real quick. We'll test with Vazarin. Because Vazarin, in my opinion, is the cheat code for these guys.
On
Basically...
the topic of operator schools, if I could share some kind of obscure tech when it comes to Limbo and the operator.
Sure.
So the arcane that allows the operator, if they die outside of the warframe, to not get the glitch, I believe it's Magus glitch, because of how Limbo operates, he can just sit in the rift, and you can keep sending your operator out again and again and again with almost no risk.
Yeah, I would imagine. Oh, wait. Oh. Oh man, I'm
Other
stuck in the
warframes have
enemies.
a moment
Oh,
of
there we go.
vulnerability.
There we go. Yeah, like that with the Vazarin that I was telling you guys about. Basically, I made myself invisible and was able to just walk in and deal with them, which is nice. Vazarin's the cheat code for this stuff, I would say.
Vazarin just funny, I guess.
It's so nice.
Can I get one guy that's not an Exodus? So I'll drag him out.
I'll give you 20 normal guys.
Okay, can they not spontaneously combust?
Oh yeah, I'm not doing anything, don't worry.
Not possible, no kidding.
Okay, 1 second. I need them to drag out to me. Okay. Now I do this, and now I do that. And, are we gonna work? Why is it not?
So do you have any thoughts on if Banish was changed so that there's kind of like a green marker on teammates and teammates can only be banished with a green marker on a friendly?
Right.
Maybe. I don't know about that serious, but like I said, I feel like the Phantom Top Hat idea would be much, much better.
London.
Aside, I perfected my Sister Hound build. I can show you later. Perma Mercy finishes on all enemies and lots of nuking and priming power. That's pretty neat, Darku. You can send it to me later.
Okay. It is done.
Alright, so what are you trying to do?
Wait, I can chosen in this state. What? No. I can't chosen in this state. God damn it.
Are you stuck?
Doesn't like that.
Yeah.
He's just stuck.
Stuck being invincible. Unfortunate.
Oh, that's lame. That's funny.
Wait, what if I spawn the chosen quickly enough?
Yo, it's
No.
Meg!
God, I love the Cycron.
It's so good.
Is my gas still there from the Maya?
Maybe. Alright, I'm gonna spawn more normal enemies again. But yeah, I would say when it comes to like advanced tactics, it's mainly just like getting used to that whole in and out state that I was talking about and like being mindful of what it is you're seeing. Because like the funniest thing is, because of how well I know the Rift state, I can just put Cataclysm there, right? Just instinctively know that the enemies are in the Rift right there. And just attack from above like this if I wanted to. You know what I mean? Just a matter of like understanding where things are and what's going on. Oh, actually, wait, there is one more that I wanted to talk about real quick. Nullifiers. Oh, trust me, I love fighting these things. Alright, let me scan.
I unfortunately don't share that sentiment.
Well, when you know what I know, it's fun. Like,
yeah.
I just look at them, I'm like, really? You?
Like,
By the way,
why are you here?
who is spawning those 15-meter bloody gas rocks? What was that?
I think that's from my Maya, the funny measure things.
Alright, so we got
they
this
spawned
boy.
in right as I hit them.
So there are a few ways that you can deal with these guys a little bit. Let me actually get them... Actually, wait, I'll get my shade out in a moment. So one thing you can do, for one, is take out the drone, but if you hit him with electric specifically... Oh, that's too strong. Wait a minute. Let me get a weapon that doesn't one-shot them real quick, so I can show off what I was going to show off. Where is the Fulman, actually? The Fulman's a really good choice for this. There we go. So I'm going to spawn him again.
Oh. I want to go back like Coleman.
Literally should act like the hat from DMC5. That would make it so much easier to tell as it's a pain with some people's fashion choices. Yeah. So one way you can do this is that until you walk into the nullifier bubble, you're in the rift, right? So what you could do is blast them real quick with electricity and then take out the bubble. And so long as the electric proc is on them when the bubble tries to spawn... Oh, I took out the drone at the same time. Wait a minute. This is the annoying part. I sometimes blow up the drone by mistake when trying to display this stuff. So there we go, electric. So the moment the bubble tries to spawn, it instantly pops. While the electric proc is on. And it blew the drone again. Another tactic... Let me get the shade out again, because this one's really funny.
Wait. Hold on. Sorry, you're making me think of something.
Yeah, no worries. So I'm going to bust this out again. Another way you can do this, if you wanted to, spawn them again and unpause the AI, is that you could have your companion spreading the cold and stuff around, right? And they'll usually target the nullifier after a bit and start slowing them down too. If not, the damage AoEs I'm using here will reduce its size like that. Making it harder for the bubble to be active, basically. If you don't outright kill them yet. Where things get funny... Watch this.
It's like, what are you saying? Can you turn on player invincibility?
Say that again?
Can you turn on player invincibility?
Oh yeah, sure. 1 second. We unpause the AI.
Do I need to get out?
So now what I'm going to do is go invisible, right? And I'm going to let the bubble expand as high as it can to show this off. Is that shade, invisibility does not get disabled, so I can just walk in and then melee him to death. Like that.
Damn.
Yeah, if you're using Shade, I honestly recommend Shade or the Heroes Kubro for Corpus, because they both do this, where you stay invisible even when you walk in. Because of that, whenever a Nullifier shows up, I can just stop attacking for a few seconds, and just walk right in and get them when they're not paying attention, like that.
So, you mentioned the electric status effect affecting them.
Yeah.
And I brought out the Ultranox. I still have this thing.
Oh, I see, I see.
It's not... It is... It just feels awful to play with. But it does pure electric.
Mm-hmm. Man, I'm so glad I got back into Limbo. I got him a bit after he was released, and I was completely lost as to how to best use him and got scared away from him after all the... Excuse me, sorry, burping. Haiti got. Understandable, Carbine. Comes with the territory.
I'm
Sadly.
gonna take off. I need to take off magnetic.
Alright, so another one I'm trying to think of. Another way I like to play around this, and this is also good with Shade, is that I'll banish the enemies around the nullifier and not the nullifier itself. That way, all the other enemies are CC'd. My drone is dealing with the nullifier now, and I can walk up and deal with him individually, and then I can get back to dealing with all the other guys at the same time. But this really only works with a 1 through 3 setup. If you try using a full Cataclysm setup, it just doesn't work, sadly. Or pure Cataclysm, anyway. Like, you could. Let me show this real quick. Just put a Cataclysm over here. Alright, see ya.
Which is the best of the stream. Shut.
Do that, and they're dealt with again, kind of thing. I have no idea, Cirrus, if it does or not. Well, you can pure Kata if you have the cast. Technically Darku, but it's riskier because you have to get the timing down. And even for me, I find it a little too inconsistent, but it definitely can work. If you try, you know, max casting speed, cast it, you have just enough time to cast Surge before it closes forcibly from the Nullifier to bring them in. But yeah, Corpus, against Corpus, Shade or Hiras Kubra are going to be your best friends, I would say, when playing against them, because you just have the ability to just go stealth mode to deal with the Nullies.
Okay, can you respawn them real quick for me?
Yeah, no worries. There you go.
I do wish the functionality of how nullifiers interacted with Cataclysm was just changed a little bit.
Yeah.
Like, you can't run a max range build on Corpus tile sets with nullifiers. It just doesn't work.
It does not, sadly.
Yeah, I was seeing if the electric proc would still work for what you're saying, but it seems that it still will ban, or they still get it off enough where they could just pop the bubble.
Yeah, it's like, I find it best if used alongside status duration builds. That way the electric can last as long as possible.
Yeah, what I was mainly just trying to do is spread it as much as possible, just electric.
Understandable. Yeah, like any AoE damaging ability will work that way too. Another way, I believe, is Impact, actually. Because if I remember correctly, Impact does extra damage to Nullifier bubbles too.
Yeah, it's a... I when they did the status rework, I figured out a way for my mind to just process it. I remember that Magnetic is basically just a viral for shields.
Yeah.
And Impact is the slash for shields.
Yeah, kind of. There we go. All dead again. Yeah, and even with this, I still don't recommend necessarily playing against Corpus. Not even because it's too hard, but because it can get a little annoying. But Void is a better choice because they don't spawn nearly as often when it comes to nullifiers.
I avoid Mott. If I want a survival, I go to Annie.
Does AoE buff like Ivara's Stealth Arrow work through the Rift? It should, gaming. Nexus, do you want to do the honors?
1 second. Yes.
Yeah, hit me with a Stealth Arrow.
What is boss?
Yeah, there we go.
I mean, of course it will.
That's not scary at all.
Ivara might not be a bad choice because I know the Exalted Bow goes to the Rift too, but I know that her Navigator doesn't work though, unless you're the Grimoire.
That's oddly specific.
It's the, what's it called? the Grimoire Altfire, if the Ivara is in the Rift first as they cast it, the bubble, or the AoE, it's supposed to follow your Rift state, basically. So if you're in the Rift, it stays in there. If you leave it, it follows you. But apparently when you use Navigator specifically, it remains on both planes at the same time.
I desire a bubble.
Is it the only projectile that works that way?
I believe so, yeah. Let me do that, and then let me spawn some enemies for you. I'll pause them, though. There we go. Alright, fire! The evil orb!
Water bucket. Really?
There it goes!
It does the thing.
It does the thing.
But
Imagine
doesn't do
daily
the
technique,
thing
hollow
in the
green.
That's some arcane level knowledge. You could thank friend of the channel, I'm gonna shout him out right here, K-Fetted, for that. The guy who made the Avara's Evil Orb video.
I used that before the video though.
Well, yeah, but I'm just saying he and I were playing once and we were testing Ivara together and like
That'd be
nothing was
so-
working, but
yeah.
that specifically did, which was really funny.
I don't know why I didn't even think about that before, because I thought it would just work the same way that the normal punch through part works. But
By the
I
way,
forget it
one
has an
little
AoE,
fact
so
with the
yeah.
Grimoire- Wait, does it? The bar gets refilled by secondary ammo, or like any.
Oh, interesting.
So the ammo adapters are very good on it because you know.
Makes sense, makes sense.
But that's only when you can refill it because there's like a downtime.
Yeah.
Around how much the ball exists plus like 1 or 2 seconds.
Ooh, one more strat. Oh, wait for Nexus. Yeah, thank you. What we're gonna do now is switch to one of my other favorite builds. Is this it? Yes, this is it. The Arcane Escapist build. It's one of my favorites.
I've been trying to get that arcane, but like it's not easy to get one.
Remind me what Escapist does again?
Get 3 mercy finishers. If you die, you get 12 seconds of invincibility.
Oh.
So what makes it so good with Limbo specifically is that it can act as the I can get out of the rift button, basically, or the I do not die button, if you build it up first. So what we're gonna do...
Does that work with Mark for Death?
No, it's mercy finishers specifically is how it works.
Okay.
So it's Parazon finishers.
Okay.
So what I do, basically, is I'll seek out the enemies that can be mercied, like these guys. We just get the finisher, that's 1. 2.
I said you want me to shoot one.
3. There we go, so that's the 3 finishers. I'm just gonna release them from the rift real quick, and then I'm gonna get intentionally killed. If I can, because I forgot that my hound is here.
What the dog doing?
Yeah, what the dog doing? So I'll just stand right here. Watch this. There we go.
Defending his country.
Now I have 12 seconds of invincibility, so I can just go around doing things if I want to. But usually this means that if I die outside of the rift, or die in it, it gives me 12 seconds to be able to do whatever the hell I want to these guys without having to worry about dying. So I can just do this, for example, like kill them real quick. Yeah.
Is there a time that you have to have before?
No,
Or
so...
is it like you do get the 3 finishers and then you just wait till you die?
Yep, exactly. I like to look at it as an alternative for having to use Last Gasp, because it takes the place of it when it's active, basically. So it makes it really good for endurance, specifically. So if you're doing endurance content, it's amazing for it. But for general use, it's a little too niche, because, I mean, your odds are you're not really gonna die if you're doing an exterminate, right?
It's basically Dagger's 3, right?
Kind of. It'd be more to say it's like a Nidus passive, if anything. And it can be stacked up to 3 times. So you can have up to 36 seconds of invulnerability, technically.
God, that's a long time.
Oh yeah, like, it's why I was so confused as to why, what was it, Arcane Hotshot was getting so much love, and I looked at this, I'm like, did people just forget that they dropped Nidus's passive as an Arcane?
And you could get more mercy kills in that invincibility period.
Yep, I've done it a few times. I think one time in the 12-second window that I had, I got like 5 mercy kills.
I have one single arcane escapist.
Oh yeah, like if you can get it, and they're like dirt cheap right now. They go for like 5 plat or something, which is insane. Now let me pause. But yeah, that's kind of it, I would say, when it comes to it. Like, just understand, like, the in and out kind of idea, right? Like, knowing if it's in or out, if it's opposite planes, most things don't work. There's some that break the rules. And just remember that so long as you understand how your abilities behave, especially Cataclysm, because you can fire it at a distance, so I like to call it the Rift Projectile, you could quite literally become invulnerable if you play well enough. But it also does not hurt to have some safety nets.
Was the default prowl not moving before? Because it's sure moving now.
What do you mean?
I don't remember it moving around. The invisibility texture or shader. Like it's finished.
Finisher. Very nice. Bassus sounds like it would pair with this arcane. Yeah, gaming. I've talked about it. It feels like Escapist was built for that weapon, but like you could use it general use. You just have to intentionally bring along a weapon with magnetic. Like even a primer would be fine to get going.
Why is this one still here?
No Switch gaming. It keeps you on the same plane, which technically means if you wanted to, if there's an enemy outside the rift that's in the mercy kill range, but you're in the rift, you could use the alt fire as a mobility tool if you wanted to, which is really neat. I could join and show off some of the more anti-corpus and maybe some stuff about squad play and pubs. Yeah, sure, Dark. Oh, you're in the call. All right, let me pull you in. 1 second.
Hello, Darko. I forgot.
I forgore. Hello.
We all forgore.
Hello.
My brain ain't braining. Hey,
Do you want to invite me to the sim, or should I just start up my
I
own?
can pull you in. Why not? Let me find you. Everyone is now
so
seeing the
before-
compressor love since the prime dropped. Yeah, compressor's good. Really
Oh,
good.
Compressor's
compress is
so
crazy.
good.
Absolutely crazy. People complain about the ammo stuff. You just realize you can use 2 mods for ammo economy, and it's wonderful.
Honestly, my problem with it was just
I-
the low reload speed.
I don't even use a mod for ammo economy, and it's still pretty good for me.
Yeah.
But yeah, wanted to show off at least some of the
Oh,
more
yeah.
anti-corpus stuff. Because
Yeah, 1 second.
my Limbo, unlike Sci-Fi's, I believe, have the casting speed to show off against like the nullifier bubbles and stuff.
I have a build that I use for it, I just haven't taken it out.
Yeah, because I wanted to show timing is actually quite easy to get down once you have enough casting speed. It is a bit rough if you just use shards, but if you use natural talent and 4 shards, it gets quite consistent. So you can see the big bubble, and you can just do this and then cast it, and you have everyone rifted. And then you can use a weapon, jump into the bubble, and then just kill them.
Yeah, that is another way you could do it. I was just showing
The
you
main-
off with Banish 1 through 3, right? Because that's like the more realistic way most people would try to play. But this also works
this
too.
works even if you have it in defense and have to wait for the bubble and where the nullifier bubble will go into your bubble. As long as you have your 3 active on all the enemies, the moment your bubble gets popped by the nullifiers, everyone
in
will
the
stay in
rift.
the rift.
Yep.
The only thing to be careful about if you do jump into the bubble of a nullifier to kill them is your stasis gets turned off, and that's the only ability that will be turned off.
Yeah. Which won't really matter too much because they'll be in the rift at that point, so they still won't be able to hit you anyway.
Yeah, and you will be pulled out of the rift,
Mm-hmm.
which is another big part.
Yeah.
But like that's like the main way. Like why Cascade is really fun with Limbo and stuff. But in squad play, I want to show off this as well because
There you
the
go.
one rule that I kind of have for like Limbo in squad play specifically is make sure to not have like 80% or more rain, specifically in pubs, because that lets you have a good enough bubble to where like you can riot bubble, like Sci-Fi showed off and stuff,
Yeah.
where you shoot into the bubble from range. But it also gives you a decent chunk of a bubble, so you can utilize it in maps and tiles. And you can cast it into like walls and stuff to like have half the bubble be visible and the other half not being it. So you can make like long stretches of corridors on corpus tile sets and stuff, where you can throw it into the wall. So you can have like just 2 entryways maybe,
Yeah.
or like just 1 entryway fully right bubble, and then you can have like that as your own little like sniper spot, and then you can also play around with the rest of the mission without having to rely on Rift. And the way to
Yeah.
not do that is also through, for example, arcanes that give you damage amp to stay at gun frame, or vicious swap. Holster amp is another great one for aura slots.
One of my personal
we can
favorites
just,
that I've told you about a few times, Darku, is Arcane Rage, because it's like really
Yeah.
consistent.
Rage, there's also one for reload specifically.
That one,
Where it's 60% on reload, which gives you the same primary weapon damage, but it's triggerable without headshots, which
It's
can
actually,
help some players with some weapons.
it's actually 150%, I believe, and I
Yeah,
think
that's
my
150
only...
instead of the 180.
Mhm. Yeah, and like my biggest problem with it is that it's only really good on lower magazine weapons. That way you can consistently reload. I feel. I found
Yes
it
and
better.
no, because it does. While it is harder to upkeep, the main purpose of that arcane specifically will be on weapons where once you have your on-kill effects, which is what I call everything from gun CO and all of these things.
Mm-hmm.
It helps you get that proc. As long as you get your on-kills, every weapon should be able to handle themselves.
Mm-hmm.
So like that's where like the main modding comes from, right? With Vicious Swap, Holster Amp, like using those kinds of modding. This is general modding advice for not just Limbo, but all weapon frames, right? Is it lets you just get that extra damage guaranteed, which really helps some weapons, especially shite weapons.
Is Arcane Rage additive? It is serious. It's a base weapon damage bonus, which makes it pretty nice because it means multi-CO weapons you could just use that Arcane to get things going.
Yeah. And like they obviously have value. Like if you don't get your Rift Torrent off that much, it's also very useful on level caps when you don't play Limbo
Yeah.
or Gunframe.
Limboss, have you listened to the new Snake Eater for MGS Delta? I did, Pero. I thought it was pretty good.
I also, if you do end up subsuming over the 1, make sure to not go below or like above 60% duration. That way you can keep it to only a 10-second duration on the Rift, which is quite a lot nicer, especially in pubs.
I'd say that's some pretty good strategies of looking at everything overall. Yeah, man.
The rest is just going to be noticing when enemies are in and like keeping track of that like mentally as it happens.
Yeah, because like he's very active, so you have to be like mindful of pretty much everything when you're playing as him. Because it's like when you're playing as Limbo, you're playing basically Limbo's rules when he's around. So it's like important to be mindful of what frames can and can't work with you. That way you're not a dick.
Yeah, like if you're in a pub, especially, it's always keep note of how your teammates are playing and their frames. If there's a Hero, for example, or a Ureli, maybe don't rift that much outside of like your Cataclysm because they cannot interact with the rift outside of Cataclysm.
Yeah, that's why I suggest if you're playing with especially gun frames, just leave a Cataclysm on the field basically for people to go into whenever it's needed.
Yeah, and just try and be very like open with just hold casting your banish because that's the like they cannot interact with frames in the rift at all. Like they have 0 methods.
Yeah.
So it's always just worth it to just if you don't know if you have killed every enemy that you rifted, just hold cast 0-1. Even if, because that way, like, the main thing with like pubs and stuff is you will have stragglers, like enemies that you rifted but didn't kill.
Yeah.
And so it's just all about pushing them out so other people can deal with them as quick as possible.
Yeah.
And to not keep them just standing around doing nothing while stasis is up, for example.
Yeah, you absolutely don't want to leave enemies in the rift because A, it can slow things down, and especially if there's surge, if that surge goes off and there's too many enemies around, it could cause like a block, like a surge block or something going on, which can make things worse.
By the way, guys, now that recoil is no longer a thing, dual Sestrum fire rate might actually be viable.
They'll fix that eventually.
Yeah, I hope they do. It
Can
feels
you
odd to
spawn
fire
a
the
dummy
Sporefix.
or
I cannot use a Sporefix at all.
I don't like it
need
because
to test
I
the
like the
dual
recoil
Sestrum.
mods, in all honesty, so I hope they fix it.
I just want the recoil because it doesn't feel like I'm shooting water guns. Like, it feels odd.
Yeah. Exactly. Hopefully they fix it.
Jesus.
But I also wanted to show off, like, against nullifiers, like, you have different companions that do different things to the nullifiers. Nullifiers are counted as VIP targets for assassin posture.
Oh my god, it actually kills Steel Path, what the hell?
So you can have your companions with that on. Like, for example, a Vaska Kavat is like the main one that I would always harp on as being the best companion in the entire game for all purposes. But you also have like a lot of like the hounds and stuff that have like VIP targeting, and like you can mod certain companions specifically to kill out the nullifier quickly as well.
Yeah. It's why I also,
You also
like
just-
duplex bond, like what you would call it. It's like duplex bond companions, like drones, because they'll go out and attack for you too.
Yeah, that, and you also can use the slide very well with duplex. You can also fit it into crescent as well quite easily. Out of the bump of ILS. You can also use things like the MOAs with duplex quite easily, and they are very good at it. They can't use posture mods though, but they do generally have enough AoE with them.
I think the behavior
with their
mods is
presets.
their equivalent, right? Because like they are technically a DPS decrease in a sense if you have them equipped.
Every single one is a DPS decrease, but the way to look at it is the aggressive one will increase their DPS slightly when they are attacking, but they will still have moments where they don't attack. Generally, don't use any of them, or use the cautious one, because the cautious one keeps them alive longer and doesn't harm the DPS that much. Also, Sister's Hounds are like very effective at dealing with the corpus in general, especially with the fix to the denial mod they did. So you can use the bubble to keep them alive.
Yeah, that one in particular is really nice, especially because they could see like the jade light beams and stuff, and like really get crazy with
No,
their damage.
That's the different one. That's null audit. I'm talking.
Oh
about
no! Oh yeah, that's right. The magnetic bubble
That's
one,
an audit
right?
mod. Yeah, I'm talking about the reflex denial, which is generating a shield that will pulse magnetic damage.
Yeah, that one. That's what I was thinking of.
They fixed it, so now you no longer block your own shots with it. So it's really nice to use.
Oh, thank fuck. That was really annoying when trying to use that.
They
Because it
also
worked
made
across
the-
dimensions too, which made it even more annoying.
Yeah, and they also fixed the disarm audit, which is the AoE disarm. Basically Loki's fourth ability, but it has a lower cooldown and no energy cost. And faster cast time. And also primes every enemy with all the statuses in the world. But they have fixed that one as well to work a bit more consistently.
That's nice.
I think that's now a lot more usable. And also disenergized prospectus, which is like the electric bouncy ball of doom, because it inherits multiple momentous bond procs on itself to have every status
God.
element at 1000% damage multiplier.
Jesus.
So, yeah.
Can Vaska proc synth deconstruct consistently? I would assume it would be able to.
Speaking of bouncy balls,
It is consistent if you build it for damage, because the Vaska is one of the best nukers in the game, and so it will kill enemies and therefore drop energy orbs and health orbs.
The flak cannon, I see.
the flat cannon.
That thing is ass. Oh. Uh-oh. My game almost crashed.
I'm scared. Did my hound do stuff? No, it doesn't seem like my hound did anything. Okay. I should unequip my hound, honestly. Mm. We don't have any Eximus, so it wouldn't actually be that big of a deal. Sci-Fi, if you want to crash your PC, you could summon like 20 Eximus units and have my hound just kill them instantaneously.
No, I'm not doing. I value my hardware. Thank you very much.
Oh, it wouldn't harm your hardware. It would just have a.
Y'all remember how the Dragoon has the one skin that I'm currently have on it, and it used to change the projectiles to be like a little like bigger.
Yeah, little bullets.
People
or
turn
whatever
into
it
like a
was.
meteor shower. Yeah, it no longer does that.
I better farm the
the bullets-
basketball. Yeah, you should.
The
Cirrus,
bullets
it's
no longer
good.
have their own skin.
Yeah, if you want to look at how we build it and how to build any biome, like any companion, really, Sakmat has a really good video. I really recommend it. It's totally not because I'm also a co-author of that video.
Yeah, in all honesty, that
Really
video
high
is great.
quality.
It's why I'll be kidnapping Suckma a little bit when we talk about companions in the modding guide that I'm doing, because
You could also just kidnap me too.
I might. I've considered it. It's just I mainly want to look at like bringing on other creators. You know what I mean, right? To like promote other creators as part of it.
Yeah,
You know what I
I
mean?
don't have the clout, you know.
Yeah, make a YouTube video and then I'll kidnap you for it. Like unironically.
Nah, I'm just gonna shadow everything Sakmat does to make sure he doesn't say anything wrong. He'll be the face. I'll just be the guy in the background.
You're like the little gremlin sitting in the chair and just like make
God,
sure this
I
is
hope-
correct.
So Sakmat is making a video, right, about like my core build. I've told you about this core build quite a bit, right? Sci-Fi about the Venari like AFK
Yeah, the
build
Venari.
before.
Yeah, the Venari build. Oh,
Yeah, I showcased it to him, so he's making a video about it. And like, I hope they don't nerf Venari because of it.
I doubt they would because like there's like plenty more broken things I feel like that this game has shown off and they're still in the game, so I don't really see an
Yeah,
issue.
but this Heron that has like no build up might be a bit much. Well, to be fair,
One-
Master does better, but
Yeah, let me spawn
You got-
enemies again.
Something very broken I discovered just the other day is apparently Varuna can infinitely shield gate.
Ooh, how? Do tell.
well, it's well,
So,
it has existed for a while.
so the way it works is because her 4 consumes energy when it's used, but then refunds the energy
Blindness.
when you press 4 again to unactivate it, you can just do that repeatedly and give yourself shield forever.
Oh god, that's funny.
Yeah, just like the main thing is it's the animation is a bit long.
That's
The
fair.
main problem people have had with it,
If
and
you-
also the fact that she has invis.
I'm just saying, you're not gonna be able to kill him.
Actually, if you're walking, it animation cancels. So if you're moving, it's just instant.
Okay, that's
Yeah.
pretty neat.
It also has some bugs in it, specifically when you get forced into operator during its cast time.
Wait, can I banish him? Hold on. Oh, I could banish him. I didn't even know I could do that.
Yeah. Hi, what game is this? Hey, Santa, how you doing, my friend? By the way, Senna, what I find really funny, Alchemist King, I think I remembered you or somebody else making a comment towards Senna, and Senna was like, I'm trying to remember what it was. They were being sarcastic or something, and I remembered, like, one of my viewers saying, do you know who this guy is or something? And it kind of made me laugh. Like, looking at that. I'm like, Senna's a friend. I know that they're doing it for shits and giggles, and that just made me laugh so hard when I saw that. Hey, Emerald. Yeah, sadly, Emerald, I'm probably going to be turning off stream pretty soon because it is almost 10 p.m. my time. And, oh, my computer almost crashed again. I think it's, like,
Who's
lagging.
making this? Is it just the fact that there's so many limbos?
I think what's going on is that people are going in and out of the thing, right? The arsenal, and you know that glitch that happens?
Memory leak.
Yeah. Yeah, it's doing the thing where, like, the game freezes temporarily. So I'm gonna leave the sim now, because
Yeah,
I
but
feel
it
like we've
seems
talked
that
about.
the longer we do that, the more it starts lagging.
Yeah. 99-minute stream at the moment. Yeah, basically.
Warframe spaghetti code strikes again.
Alright, base of operations. I think I'm gonna be done just about now. I'm sorry.
But
it's late
Sci-Fi
for
also
me.
sent you these. It's your
I
sound.
thought my game crashed.
Oh, thank you. All right.
I actually got a weird question for you, Side.
Yeah, sure.
I
Go
don't
ahead.
remember if you talked about it in your own Bible, but K drives.
Mm-hmm.
Do they go in Rift?
I think all vehicles can technically. The way it works is that you basically activate a portal, right? Like a rift portal, and then you get in the K drive, and then you just run through it, and then the vehicle and you get put in the rift. It's pretty funny.
Well, but
So you'd ha-
you
so you'd
are
have to
the
do-
vehicle.
So would you really have to do that then?
Technically, yes.
No. She the way it Rift
Like,
works.
could she be in Cataclysm?
She should
The way
be
it
able
works. The way it works is Ureli is going to be in the rift, like can easily be rifted. So the vehicle doesn't have to go into the portal, because don't even think it can be banished itself. But it doesn't matter for her case because she's.
It doesn't put you in the one state for like Eidolons where like you're not hit by the ability or whatever.
Yeah.
to. Yeah, should work. Okay.
Like it works, but it's more finagly than like just saying it works.
Yeah.
It just
Because I believe it's
works.
only the portal from his dash that will rift vehicles.
Oh, he has a last insane Riven. Let's go. Or last insane.
So the
Riven.
Lasertane Riven here could be swapped for just an electric mod.
That's fair. Yeah, I just look at it because it's like the status duration is what really makes me go, oh, I want that.
Yeah, the most important thing about the Riven for Lacerton is electric. You want high amounts of electric because it force procs electric.
Oh, sorry, that wasn't a stream. That was a comment section. Yeah, that's why I meant to say Senna. Sorry. All right. Well, everybody, I think this was a pretty good stream. It was fun talking to you all. Thank you for joining Reaper, Alchemist, Nexus, and Darku for this. Also, special shout out to Nick the Ninja who had to leave early. And as well, loading error too. I'll watch the VOD, ooh woo. No worries, Emerald.
Might be worth editing the VOD a bit down. Maybe you could try and like dense it more with the info.
I could. I'll look into it because I still gotta finish the Augments video and I really gotta get on it because, surprise, surprise, in less than a week I'm gonna be up at my new house. Not in this one anymore.
But for the augment video, you want what is the main subject? Is it just the band-aid thing?
Mainly band-aids and why I feel like most augments in the game are kind of not designed to be side grades as they should be, you know? Like, augments, in my opinion, really shouldn't be mandatory for some frames, right?
Wow. Well, augments have a worse problem than that because they're all upgrades with a side grade push. That's either that or they're flat out just upgrades.
Yeah, and that's why I have a interesting solution that can make them more interesting. Because, like, here's the conclusion I've drawn.
Like, we have side grades, they just don't get used. Because
Yeah,
they're
like,
horrible.
yeah.
Even those the up buff to make them more like appealing and straight upgrades are still not good.
The problem is that
Augments are fine, but if you take this steal this system that's already there, the Incarnon upgrades, right? Take that menu, have it onto the Warframe screen. Boom. Problem solved.
That would be too
The main
strong.
issue is
for
that
Yeah.
those frames.
they just take up too much mod slots to build.
I haven't.
I don't know, Frost. He needs 3 augments.
I have an interesting
Frost only
solution
needs, like,
that
3
would make, in my opinion, build crafting even more interesting. I'm not going to spoil what it is on stream, but it's sort of like a solution, because, like, here's the conclusion I've drawn, is that I just don't think augments can be made as side grades and can only be made as upgrades at this point, because it's, like, the direction that DE keeps
Community.
going. So I have, like, my own idea of how it could work that could fix the need for those augment mods, but still keep it somewhat balanced. But like I said, I'm not going to spoil what it is, because it's going to be in the video. But I think it could be really interesting, and I think could actually help with build variety quite a lot, too. Like a new way of building.
I just thought of something
Mhm.
for Limbo
Hey,
Banish
Xena.
augment. If they allowed the radial banish from the surge to affect allies, it would be a lot better for healing allies.
It would also be way more annoying for allies.
It would be, because then
imagine
you would just randomly get banished into the rift, and you're like, what the fuck just happened?
Like, why is this limbo trolling?
Also
Are we back to
true.
2013 or like what the hell?
Yeah.
Also
Listen,
true, but then they don't have to worry
Limbo
about
already gets
not being on the
blamed
same
for
plane.
trolling
There's enemies
because
around them.
people get sent into the rift and can't shoot shit.
I think a
And so
really
you want them to be pulled into the rift from his one as well.
I think a really neat augment idea for Rift Surge that I thought of that could be really cool. Imagine one where it allows allies to get like surged, right? But it removes the AoE banish part of the build. Or part of the ability.
That would be an issue to his identity, wouldn't it?
Not really, because like it would allow basically imagine it like this, right? You're trading off the ability to spread the rift, but you could still manually banish enemies around on like that plane. But it would allow it so that way, you know, like the riot bubble build, right? You could do one of those, but your allies could get in on it too, technically, because you could just surge them and then just stick in like a spot and just fire in, kind of thing.
Yeah, because like, I don't know. Like, I just have problems with Surge being made into the ally accessibility in general. I feel like it needs to be something with his passive.
It could. Well,
It
I'm
needs to be
just
changed
saying
to
it's like an
that.
augment idea that would have a certain trade-off to incentivize like a team play focus build. Technically,
I think the whole identity though for Surge is for it to be spreading.
yeah, true.
Yeah, like it's a
Yeah.
surge of Rift, right?
Mhm.
It's to keep enemies in the Rift longer and to get new enemies in.
Well, Xena and Senna in the same stream. Yup.
Like if they did like more like the First Ascendant style of augment making, where they were like, let's fundamentally change the ability, then that could work. But like, yeah,
Which is
I don't
what
think
they're more
Warframe
so
is ready
doing
for
now.
that.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's what I feel like augments technically
The
should be.
community
They
isn't
should
ready yet.
actually like change how abilities function, in my opinion. But the problem is that DE has shown time and time again that they can't really go in that direction.
Yeah,
Either
the community
because
doesn't want it. Yeah.
yeah, because like they could, because like the thing is, they technically could, but the problem with it is that they could either make something that's either too broken or it could be a little annoying. So like the straight upgrades, it's just easier for them, and more importantly, they do have like an actual monetary incentive to make augments like that. So makes
Yeah,
like
sense.
Daggett, well, Daggett's like her third ability augment basically makes it so that her third ability activates on the cast.
Yep.
Yeah, like that's a good
Right.
example of like a clear
It-
side grade, like with upside.
It doesn't fundamentally change the ability, but it makes it so that you're playing it like way differently than you were before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
to
Like
an
that's what
extent,
people
yeah.
want, like in their head, but no one really likes it. Kind of like people like it if it's like new, but like people hate like the way to design it, right? Like I was able to speak to a few people that I know that like talked about augmentation and stuff for abilities specifically in games. I can say
guess-
one of them was First Ascendant. I can't say the two other games, but like
Yeah.
most of the
NDA
time,
stuff.
what yeah, like the most things people like want in communities is like they want upgrades that incentivize a new play style. That's like what they want.
Yeah.
Is like a clear upgrade, but also pushes you in a play style. So like that's what most augments tend to be.
Yeah, and like slight spoiler alert for the video when I talk about the augments problem. In my humble opinion, from the more I've been playing Limbo, in my opinion, this is just my opinion, I feel like Limbo is actually the worst offender of the augment problem. The more that I look at him,
I
Yeah,
mean,
because he has two
yeah.
useless augments. Like one that has
Practically
no
useless,
use.
yeah.
He has one that has no use. The other one shouldn't really have a use because you could always just recast.
well,
And like
the
the third one is like a must-have kind of.
The
like,
Cataclysm
tier
augment has a niche use with Riot Bubble specifically and the grouping tool kind of builds, but like even then, not a whole lot of people play that way, so it's like way too niche.
Yeah,
to
but those
use.
I
skills
use this-
also have high duration and low range, which means the bubble doesn't shrink as fast, and you could just recast it more often because of the energy that you
Yeah.
gain.
Yeah,
have-
like
I have his Banish augment on a defense build that's focused just around defense missions.
Yeah, like just arbitration defense, probably.
but like
right?
that's just
that's
a
like the
super
only
niche.
use for that augment.
Yeah.
And then like the 3 augment, in my opinion, like although it's strong, it doesn't technically change your playstyle at all, because the whole thing with Limbo, right, is spreading the rift around. You're already doing that, so it's more of like it's just an upgrade is all it is.
You're just
It doesn't do
incentivized to
anything
have more
else.
enemies in the rift.
Well, that
It's not
mod in
unrelated,
itself.
but But I think Ivara has like the most useless augment in the game entirely.
What do you mean?
Instead of
What?
shooting
Doesn't she have
one
2 augments
quiver
into one
arrow,
ability?
you shoot 3.
Quiver
Oh, yeah.
arrow.
That
That power of 3
is
augment is
that
actually
you
quite
can
nice.
only have 3 arrows of the same time out.
No, you can have 4.
So you can't even use it as a support ability. You can't tag your teammates.
Well, you
because
can
it
have
would
4 of them
despawn the
out.
next time you shoot.
And
Yeah.
its main purpose is for the noise arrow and sleep arrow. Like, it does have
No,
value.
it doesn't
Yeah.
work because the sleep arrow works. Okay, yes, the noise arrow, they're getting confused and they're walking even slower than they usually would.
Yeah, because what they do is they
It
they
changes
get
the-
alerted to a high threat target because of how many noise arrows. Which means they walk as if it's 3 Tenos and they have to circle around them in an odd way. It does have value, and it like
Yeah,
there
but,
is
like,
some
you're
stuff you can
trading
do.
status glance and the crit damage
I'm
for
just gonna
3
say
arrows.
the only 2
Oh, it
arrows.
does have value though.
The only 2 arrows I've actually ever used on her are the Invis one and the tripwire. Or not tripwire, the
Dash
I'm
wire.
just gonna call it
Yeah,
clothesline. Yeah,
Yeah.
I forgot what the name was.
They're like the
Those are the
two
only
really
two
good
arrows I
arrows.
But yeah, like it's just a case of like Ivara's augments are probably a better case example of like the good purposes of augments, right? Like all of them incentivize another playstyle.
The fact that they reworked the one for 4 concentrated arrow in particular is really nice. I like what it does because
Yeah.
it fundamentally changes the bow into a
Yeah.
AOE weapon, which is really
want them
neat.
to do something about Navigator. It's
And then
just
you realize
God, I want to go on a tangent on
For
how to
Royal
actually like,
Merlina.
use Navigator now with you.
Yeah, like sorry to burst the navigator thing, but I'm probably gonna wrap up now. Now that we've talked about it, like I said, my solution to the problem I'm gonna save for the video because I think it's really interesting. I think Darku, you in particular might like it because of what it could bring to the table for modding. But
I'm sure I'll have my complaints.
well,
with it
yeah,
when I write it in a long
I could
post.
already imagine. I could already imagine 1 or 2 maybe. But basically, solution to my solution to that will come. Hopefully, I'll have that video done either by the day after tomorrow or something. It just depends because like I'm kind of in like pressed for time, trying to move kind of situation right now. So it might even be possible that I might not be able to do it until after I move within the next couple of days. But excited for that. And then the modding guide itself will be coming in June, most likely, because I'm still working on that. I just got done talking about most of the weapon stats and like weapon upgrades and stuff, and then I gotta talk about damage types. I gotta talk about the Warframe damage calculation, basically, like how damage is mostly calculated generally. And then like so many other things. I gotta talk about subzooms, and then for the final bit it will be explaining how to mod 1 frame, 1 weapon, or 3 weapons actually, like the primary, secondary, melee, a companion. Oh my god, sorry, my throat. A companion, and
Ooh, companion.
I may even talk about not Archwing, but maybe Railjack, because at least Railjack is somewhat played.
Yeah, Railjack is a
Are
fun
you
game
laying
mode.
out a 5-year plan?
Oh yeah, this is like
Only 5 years? You think it's only 5 years? Jeez.
yeah, it's
Well, to be
Only-
fair, he has a better schedule than say like some other YouTubers, so maybe he
Yeah.
actually can do that. But,
yeah. This video is going to be a monstrosity. Like chapter 1, which is just talking about Warframes. By the way, I've already done the math. Chapter 1 alone is going to be like 40 minutes. Yeah, and that's just talking about the Warframe stats, like the Warframe stats.
it's going to be on the level and length of the Limb Bible, isn't it?
It's gonna easily surpass that. It could easily be 3 hours, most likely. It's gonna be an absolute monstrosity when it's finished.
Yeah, or you could subjugate it to different volumes.
I might. Like, I've considered
then
releasing
just
the
make a
whole
playlist.
thing, and then, like, have a playlist of the individual chapters when it's done, for people that want to specifically skip to, or look at a specific chapter instead.
Yeah, like kind of like how Cool Kid did the exalted weapon stuff.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah. Alright.
It's like,
I think
here,
that
you
could
didn't,
just
you didn't
put it
want to watch everything in the beginning of the video? Here you go. Here's the timestamp.
Yeah, that too. I'll also kind of like what I did with the Limb Bible. I'll also say you don't have to watch the whole thing right away. You can watch it in chapters if you want to, because it's designed that way. And more importantly, I will say technically only the first half of the video is necessary to watch, because the last few chapters is going to be talking about modding, like how to mod a frame and weapon and stuff like that. It's just going to take everything that's talked about at that point and actually apply it. So you technically don't need to watch the last few chapters when talking about that stuff. But it would still be recommended, basically. Alright.
Send it to DE, that way they know what the fuck they need to do for.
Yeah. And with that, I am gonna go lie down or something. Thank you guys again for coming online. And thank you, everybody, for watching the stream. And I will see everybody next time. Have an amazing
Limbo
night.
heirloom blend.
Yeah, Limbo Heirloom.